Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping right into something pretty fascinating. Concept that might just change how you think about, well, every choice you make. Imagine this sort of gravitational force, right?
Yeah.
But it's not tied to planets or stars. It's linked to your decisions. Yeah, my first thought was, okay, how can a decision have gravity? Seems wild. But that's the idea we're tackling, the alternative gravitation theory. And our mission today is really to simplify this, make this really quite mind-bending idea easy to understand. Okay, let's get into it. This is interesting stuff. The basic idea, the core of it, is that every single choice, even tiny ones like turning left, turning right, maybe even, what you choose for breakfast, it creates some kind of unique energy.
Exactly. And what's really key here, according to the sources, is that it's not just like a thought or an abstract thing. They call it a tangible reality gravity.
Mhm.
Almost like your intention itself has a tiny bit of physical weight. And that weight subtly warps what could happen next around you, a bit like how a planet bends space-time. But, on a reality level, the core principle stated is every selection of a human creates a tiny gravitational phase that slightly distorts the path of reality according to the weight of intention.
According to the weight of intention. Okay, so what does that mean exactly?
It means the clarity you have, the conviction, the sort of emotional energy you pour into a choice that could seriously ramp up its pull. So making a really strong, confident decision, it's not just a mental act. The theory says it creates a high gravitational pull. It actually bends reality toward the path you've chosen.
Wow, okay. Bending reality. That's
Yeah.
that's a big concept.
Mhm.
A tangible reality gravity. So
Mhm.
if I'm getting this right, my daily choices, they're not just internal decisions, they're actively, maybe subtly shaping my world. Does the source give like everyday examples of how this works?
Yeah, it does connect it to bigger things. Think about choosing a life path or really committing to a major goal. The theory suggests that this choice doesn't just lead to a personal outcome. It actually, and this is the quote, pulls all opportunities in the universe to flow towards that choice. So it's not just manifesting like we sometimes hear about purely in your head. This posits a physical process.
A physical mechanism. So those moments, when things just seem to fall into place after you make a big decision.
Right. The theory challenges us to think maybe those aren't just coincidences. Maybe they're a result of this subtle gravitational pull created by your focused intention. But there's a flip side, hesitation. If you're uncertain, kind of wishy-washy, the gravitational pull weakens, and your path might deviate back towards uncertainty. Like you lose momentum, basically.
Huh. Well, it's definitely appealing. It makes you feel empowered. But okay,
Yeah.
something this fundamental. It really begs the question, how could we possibly prove it? Or even just observe it? It sounds incredibly subtle, almost undetectable, right?
That's the million-dollar question for any new physical theory, isn't it? How do you find evidence? The source does propose a couple of ways. Now, they're highly speculative, you understand, but intriguing. First, they suggest looking for specific um, behaviors in quantum systems,
Yeah.
systems that respond to an observer's intention, but not in the usual way we think about quantum measurement, the whole collapse thing.
Okay, wait. So not just observing it collapses the wave function, but your intention actively shapes the outcome in a subtle way.
Precisely. That's the distinction. Maybe, for instance, your focused intention could subtly bias the outcome of measuring one particle in an entangled pair. Or maybe repeated strong intentions could slightly nudge the decay rates of certain isotopes away from pure chance over many
Like
trials.
influencing randomness itself. Okay. And the second method.
The second idea involves repeated decision-making experiments. Basically, setting up experiments with, say, quantum random number generators. If someone consistently focuses their intention like make the light turn green and over thousands of trials, the results skew towards green more than chance allows, well, that would be a significant statistical deviation. It's about seeing if consistent, strong human intention can subtly bias these random quantum events over time in a way that pure probability just can't explain.
That would be
Mhm.
absolutely revolutionary. Game-changing, really. It does make you wonder, doesn't it, about those moments of serendipity when everything just clicks.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not just luck.
So let's recap this alternative gravitation theory, which hopefully we've made a bit easier to grasp now. The core idea is that your intentions, your choices, might literally be bending reality on a tiny scale,
Hmm.
pulling opportunities towards you based on how clear and strong that choice is. It gives your will a fascinating active role. Exactly, and it leaves us with a pretty powerful thought, doesn't it? If your choices really do have this subtle yet potentially powerful pull, how might that change how you make your next decision, whether it's a big life choice or just something small tomorrow? What opportunities might you be subtly pulling towards yourself right now just by the focus of your intention? Makes you think.